All right, is the market about to bust or break? This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil, where we keep technical analysis short and sweet. We're looking at Bitcoin. It did exactly what we expected, pushing up to the 108 area. It is getting a little rejection as expected as well. As you can see with these ghost candles, we can expect some consolidation, slow push over that 108 and holding above the 110 area is kind of what we're looking for to see a continuation, which would push up the rest of the market. Keeping that in mind, we're bouncing over to BNT, DNT, and XRP, XCN, all the good stuff. BNT is getting a little bit of rejection off this black downward trend line. However, we can see right around here that it did break this upward trend line, which isn't looking the best. However, it got some support and consolidation over that 200 EMA, which is nice to see, and testing on support around the 0.55 as we had talked about in the previous video. Also keeping in mind it hit around the 0.618 area, which is what we usually look for Fibonacci retracement. What we'd like to see now is this push up, touch this black downward trend line, and when that breaks and holds, that's when we'd be entering into BNT, as it does have a long way to go, over $1.58, potentially up to $3 from its current 58-cent mark, and beyond $3 for BNT. Moving on over to DNT, constant downward consolidation, also needing it to break this downward trend line, and it would be ideal to see it pushing up over this 200 EMA and around the 0.03 before looking for a better entry. As when that happens, you can see it may have a little bit of rejection to test it as support, as we saw on Quant, and then pushing upwards back up to the 0.06 and higher for DNT. My prediction last time it broke a downward trend line was around here, the 0.05. However, I was incorrect, and it had a way bigger price increase. So say we entered at that downward trend line, the price increase was around 800% increase just within, I guess that's about, about half a year. Took half a year to happen, but 800%, you're not going to see that leaving your money in the bank. You can only make that type of potential gains with investments such as cryptocurrency. So we're moving over to IOTX. IOTX is breaking this downward or upward trend line. Not the best thing to be seeing for IOTX, but it can still have a little bit of consolidation, trying to bring that 200 EMA closer before ultimate popping up over that 200 EMA and having a major price increase, as we saw what happened back here in around November when it pushed up over that 200 EMA, came back down, tried to push again, got a little bit closer, pushing into the green CM guppy and pushing it upwards towards the 0.08% or 0.08 cents, sorry. However, IOTX has a long way to go as well. As you can see, 49 cents is its previous all-time high. Being at 2 cents, there's a major potential gain, even buying at this low point. Getting some consolidation, any push up from this area is just a good risk to reward investment for IOTX. Moving into XRP. XRP still doing its consolidation, still trying to form out inverse head and shoulders. We could adjust this to see something more like that, being the inverse head and shoulders. However, it's still in consolidation, still holding nicely over the 200 EMA. Not looking the best, as it could get rejection on this black line. However, with the bull market coming up and Bitcoin pushing up, if Bitcoin consolidates and holds upwards, we could easily see XRP push up to $2.64. If it gets rejected, we would want to see it hold above the $2 mark, and the next stop would be around $1.80 to try and hold some support and create a higher low. Moving over to XYO, then Compound, then XCN. XYO is holding support on this black upward trend line right here, and it's in a downward channel. Typically you see this in cup and handles, especially with XYO. It happens a lot where it gets a nice push up and then just does a nice long consolidation, like for here example, push up, major rejection, consolidate, and then major pushes up. So XYO, definitely hold your hands strong and ride this one out, as this is going to be a major cup and handle. Same with XCN. It's got a very long way to go, and we are at the near bottom for XYO. It's looking better and better by each day. Consolidation is part of the market, so don't worry about it. Looking over at Compound, however, we had an entry around the 46, 47 mark, a sell around the 60, had that rejection below the 200 EMA, and is right back down to where we started, which is looking like a nice entry as well, as it is starting to hold a little bit of support. These past 2 days are getting a little wick off, a little push downwards, but it's still above this upward trend line, which is nice to see, and keeping that 200 EMA nice and tight is what we like to see as well. Keeping in mind the RSI is right at the 50 when purple pushes over the yellow. We see that when it happened right here on the RSI, had that major pump up to around $50 from around 41. Major price increase, rejection by the 200 EMA, tested it again, and then broke all the way up to 60. Now is not a bad time to enter into Compound, even a little bit low around 42. Watch to see if it is consolidating, and compare this to what Bitcoin is doing. Now moving over to XCN, I believe it's up 13% these past couple of days, and it is breaking that downward wedge, which we have been talking about for weeks now. And it is very good news to see that push up, as this is considered more major support. It's holding above the 200 EMA. It's holding above that downward trend line. We just want to see a little bit of consolidation, and then it will have a major push back upwards towards the 0.03 cents and beyond. This is just a major move for XCN. Stack more XCN if you can. Again, not financial advice, but very good advice, in my opinion. This has a very long way to go. It's like buying penny stocks, having major potential move upwards. I can't recommend XCN enough. Same with Quant, Tornado Cash, and Compound. Those are some of the ones that I expect to have some major movement within these upcoming months. That's it for today. I always have the reference links below for Grass Token, Free Money, Coinbase, airdrops, MEXC, lowest trading fee platform where you can trade Tornado Cash. And that's it for today. Good luck. Have fun with it. And I will see you guys on the next one.